These people all found out that they were related to friends and neighbors they already knew. First, in 2018, Hillary Harris of Eau Claire, Wisconsin was thinking of moving, partly because she wasn't crazy about her neighbor's house. There was a shared driveway and a steady turnover of rental occupants. So when yet another new set of neighbors moved in, Hillary had it.
Here we go again. Okay, now what? So I was turned off by her.
She and her new neighbor weren't exactly warm to each other.
She would not acknowledge me whatsoever. I would come get my mail, shut it, watch her walk into the house.
But for some reason, that new neighbor felt a bond with Hillary's daughter Stella, and Hillary's husband Lance made some friendly overtures as well. The neighbor's name was Dawn, and she came from Greenwood, Wisconsin, just like Hillary, who'd been adopted as a baby. The two women soon found out they shared more than a driveway.
She could be my sister. He's like, no.
Yeah, and it just seemed too far-fetched.
When Hillary found out Dawn's last name was Johnson, things began to fall into place.
And I knew it had to be my sister.
That's right, sisters.
We have the same dad, don't we? And I'm like, oh my God, how can this be?
I could not believe my sister was living next door to me. And it is magical and crazy.
The newfound siblings compared similarities.
We have the same chins.
And they had some advice for anyone who may not be getting along with their neighbor.
Your next door neighbor may actually be your sister.
These neighbors made a similar discovery in 2020. Chetil and his family moved to their Southern California neighborhood just before the coronavirus pandemic began. They got to know their neighbors from a safe distance, and they learned that they shared Norwegian heritage with Eric and Jen Strom. Inside Edition's Jim Murray has more.
How did the topic of where you came from even come up?
We all have Norwegian background in some way, shape, or form, so that's how we had originally started talking about it. I was looking for some of my husband's relatives from this island that I couldn't find, and I had mentioned that to them.
We're supposedly from this small island called Newton, but we were spelling it an English-style Newton, N-E-W-T-O-N, and then they joked, oh, wouldn't it be funny, I'm from Newton. Wouldn't that be funny if it was the same place?
When Eric mentioned it, Newton sounds familiar, I'm like, no, it's not, because if this place is just so small, it's just never going to happen.
Chetil hails from a small Norwegian island called Njoten, population 30. It just happens to be Chetil's last name as well, and that wasn't all.
The two men who lived just 4 houses apart from each other were shocked to learn that their families were not only from the same island 5,000 miles away, they also share the same great-great-grandfather, making them cousins.
If we hadn't have moved here, I don't think we would have met.
The newfound family toasted to the incredible coincidence.
Cheers!
My darling!
When he was a boy, only child Walt Gordy sometimes wanted a sibling to play with.
I kind of got envious of, people when they had siblings and they would, do this with their brother or sister and do that with their brother and sister, and it was just me. Like, I had cousins, but that's not the same as having a sibling.
Mark Tolson felt the same way, and little did both men know that their wishes would come true years later. Walt and Mark had mutual friends and would see each other at events around Houston. When each took DNA tests through 23andMe, they had a big surprise coming.
My phone rings. It says Mark. So I pick up the phone. Mark, hey, Walt, what's up, man? How you doing? I said, I'm good. How about you? He said, I'm good. I said, okay. What's up? Like, because we don't talk on the phone now. He's like, yeah, I did the 23andMe 4 to 6 weeks ago. I got my results back today, and you're at the top of the list, and it says we're brothers, man. And I'm like, what? I said, we're brothers?
Both of their mothers had visited the same fertility center and used the same donor. And get this, both their moms sang in the same church choir. For Walt and Mark, the bond was immediate.
It was an immediate love for somebody. It's kind of like, when a mom has a child or a father has a child, like it's an immediate love, like just like this, immediately.
The love was real for these two siblings as well.
Without further ado, my brother.
In this story from 2018, two lifelong friends found out they were brothers.
I couldn't contain myself. The emotions were overwhelming.
Yeah, he was crying, and it was happy tears.
Walter and Alan had known each other since the 6th grade. They'd even played football together. Thanks to a DNA test, the pair, who are both from Hawaii and who were both adopted, discovered they had the same birth mother.
There were times when people would, say something, hey, you guys kind of look alike. Are you related? And the answer was always no. And the thing that did it for us was that we both have hairy arms. If you can see that, that was a clincher.
Oh my God. I know her.
Jenny Thomas knew she was adopted, but in 2016, she was shocked to learn that she worked with her biological mom at the same hospital.
I always had that in the back of my mind, is that my mother, is she looking at me because she recognizes me?
Jenny had been searching for her birth mom for 15 years, only knowing that her mom was from Rochester, New York, where Jenny also lived.
All I knew about my parents was that my mother was white, my father was black.
When she signed up for the TLC show Long Lost Family, she found out she had already known her birth mom. They'd been working together for 2 years. Finally, we met another pair of friends turned sisters in 2020. LaToya and Ashley have been close since elementary school.
We met through a mutual friend. That mutual friend was absent from school one day, so that brought me and Ashley closer. Ever since then, we've been like inseparable.
Most of the time we had the same hairstyles, so it was just like, are y'all twins? Are we walking in the street? Like, no. Like, yeah, everywhere we went, we wore the same color for a while.
I used to already take her clothes like she was my big sister. You know how when you have a best friend or you're around someone for so long, people say that you start to look like them anyway.
They suspected they had something in common with Kenneth, LaToya's father.
I've known Ashley since she was 16, so it was like nowhere impossible I could believe that she's my daughter. Well, we took the test, we got the results back through email, and I just knew I wasn't reading it right. So I called the DNA center to make sure, for confirmation, to make sure that I was getting the actual reading. And the lady at the DNA center, she said, yes, sir. She said, Ashley Thomas, your daughter. And I could have passed out.
It was just like mind-blowing.
It was very emotional for me as well, to know that I have a child out here I could have been a father to, and didn't have the opportunity to be her father growing up as a young child.
But for Ashley and LaToya, who were already like sisters, the news just confirmed what they already knew, that they were best friends. This is Inside Edition Digital.